Hello and good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario. Watch the game live and our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app for just 99 pesos a month, available for download on Google Play or the App Store.
All right, buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. From 32, we are now down to 8. And after a long-fought battle between the best basketball teams in the world, the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup is now moving on with the top 8 squads. Now, the match between Lithuania and Serbia is currently ongoing.
And
Diego,
just to give you an update
Yes.
for that, 49-38 now at the half, with Bogdan Bogdanovic leading the way with 18 big points in the first half.
At the half.
At the half.
At the half. Okay.
Still not done yet.
Yeah, while the battle between Italy and USA is scheduled at 8:40 p.m., both games are happening at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. And here with us to give everybody their top teams to look out for in the quarterfinals are our basketball analysts, Aaron Black. And welcome to the show for the first time, Sean Manganti is here on the
So
game.
we can call him a rookie, debuting here on the
Well,
game.
you can. That's your thing. I won't mess up that stuff.
All right, let's start off with you, Sean. Since your first time, welcome to the game.
Yeah,
your
thank you for
first
having me.
your first pick here in the top 8 teams remaining in the FIBA World Cup. Canada, a very, very tough team coming into this World Cup.
Canada, I mean, how can you go wrong with that pick? I mean, they have the most NBA players on that team. They're a really exciting team.
Yeah.
They have a lot of exciting players, and I think this is the first time they made it to the quarters since 1994.
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be fun. They're exciting.
Why do you think they're playing so well in this World Cup?
You know, the mix of players, I think they mix so well already. I think everyone has kind of found their role. So if they just continue doing that, I think they're going to be good.
Right. Historically, Canada seems to kind of mess up towards the bigger stages
That's very
of the tournament, right? Aaron, before we get to your pick, I just want to poke Sean here just a little bit. Aren't you not worried that they lost, obviously, to Brazil and barely won against the defending champion Spain? Is that that did not worry you at all?
It didn't worry me at all because when you have guys like SGA, Dylan Brooks, Kelly Olynyk, and all them, I think these guys are vets. They know what they're doing. They've been in tough situations before, and they're ready for this.
And Aaron, let's go to your pick right now. Another welcome, actually. It's going to be their first time here in the World Cup. Talking about Germany.
Speaking of tough.
We're going to be welcoming them. The Filipino fans will be welcoming them. What can we expect from this tough Germany team?
Well, hopefully I get to catch one of their games because
Yeah.
I love that team. Schroeder just being that point guard, orchestrating
And you're a
everything
Laker
for
fan
them.
too, so.
And I'm a Laker fan, although he's not a Laker anymore. But they have 5 NBA players, if I'm not mistaken. Isaac Bonga is a guy that can really defend. They put him
Right.
on Luka last game. And this team is top 5 in field goal shooting. They're good at assisting, and they're top 10 in points. But for me, the biggest thing is that crew that they have of those NBA players. They play a lot of the minutes. Hopefully Wagner gets back. For
that's
them,
the
that's
thing,
going to be big.
Right? Because he's missed 4 games already, and yet
4
they're
games.
5-0.
Yeah.
So we're talking about France. He's the one who's
Yes,
out,
yes.
right? Why are we not talking about this team too much?
I don't know. They're a well-oiled machine, but they don't really have the Lukas, the SGAs type of name. I mean, Schroeder is he's a good player in the league, but he's not a superstar.
They're not the sexy stars.
Yes,
you know what
there
they
we
would
go.
say in
But they're a
media.
well-oiled machine. They're well coached, and I feel like they'll give anybody problems in the
I
quarters.
think so too.
I think so too.
believe that,
I
yeah.
agree. Well, talking about superstars, Sean's next pick, full of superstars in this team, Team USA. I don't think this is a question anymore. But what can you see with this USA squad who just came off a loss
Right.
against Lithuania?
What an obvious pick.
I mean, they just came off a loss, right? But
What an obvious,
Obvious pick from
You think it's an obvious pick?
pick. I mean,
what are you
go
going to
ahead,
say?
go ahead. My fault, my fault. No, go ahead.
Let him talk
ahead,
first,
go
and
ahead.
then you can
There you go.
rebut. Go ahead.
I mean, look, we're USA. We don't have the Kevin Durant's. We don't have the Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry's.
Okay.
Go down the line, right? So these are guys that wanted to be here. These guys are trying to build their name, build their international game up. These We got Austin Reeves, hometown hero.
I love him.
Come on, man. We
You
got,
gotta love it.
yeah, so I mean, I want to see these guys shine. These guys are trying to grow into their superstardom. You know, look at Anthony Edwards. Come on.
But, do you have a counterpoint to this, Aaron?
Try me.
I just
Come
feel
on.
like it's an obvious pick. These guys are, no matter what you say, these guys are the top players in the world. And you know, Lithuania gave him a hard time, and I feel like any big team is going to give him a hard time. So if they run into somebody like Serbia or somebody like even Germany, you know, they'll really have a hard time with them.
And you know, just to follow up, Sean, you've seen a couple of the games in the fan stream and on the Pilipinas Live app. You know, you've seen USA play the way they play. Do you think that kind of like play style will work? And who do you think is gonna, you know, become that superstar for Team USA?
Listen, Anthony Edwards, I'll say it again and again and again. He's averaging 20 points, and I think the next highest scoring, like there's 5 guys averaging 10 points. So he's really bolstered himself as that go-to guy. You know what I mean? And I think USA will go as far as Anthony will bring them.
Okay, just before we leave USA, and it's right that we talk about them because a lot of people consider them to be the #1 team. A lot of people consider them to be the favorites. Even if not a single player on the team has any kind of FIBA experience.
And they came off a 7th place finish
Yes,
also in the last
then a loss,
Right.
and then a tough game against Montenegro before that. So, if I may borrow your thinking here, it's not trending correctly for them. What would be your counterpoint to that, Sean? To tell the fans that it's all right, Montenegro was tough, we won. Lithuania was tough, we lost. So now going into Italy tonight, what would be your counterpoint?
That's fine. Listen to this. We have Steve Kerr,
Okay.
right? We have Eric Spoelstra
Right.
leading that team.
Tyrone Lue?
Tyrone Lue. You know what I mean? The guys that we have leading this team, the head is giant. The amount of experience, the knowledge coming from the top will trickle down to the bottom, and I think, you know, we're in good hands.
Well, you talked about experience. Aaron's next pick, there's this one guy who has so much experience in the international game, but he has so much experience ahead of him as well. Let's talk about your Slovenia, AB.
By the way, I'm going to watch this game tomorrow. So hopefully, you know, they do well. But I'm a Luka fan. I like him. But for me, Slovenia puts him in situations that help him succeed. You know, we all know the ball is going to go through him. The pick and rolls are going to go through him. But the way that system is built, he comes off pick and rolls, but not just from the start. He comes off staggers. He comes off all kinds of things. And, you know, through that, this team works. You know, they have a big man in Toby who didn't play that well last game, but he helps them a lot. And then Dragic's brother as well is their point guard. Problem with this team is they're not very good defensively. They're last in the World Cup in blocks out of all teams. So hopefully they can pick it up on that end. But at the same time, I feel like Luka will be Luka. So we'll just have to enjoy the show.
The leading scorer, there's nobody
Leading
close to him, obviously, in the World Cup. But one of the teams that you picked kicked their butts. By what was it, 31 points?
I think so.
It was
Germany.
bad.
Right?
Yeah,
It was
I
bad.
watched that
The
game.
only loss.
Their only loss. So let me ask you about that. Germany, a tough team, obviously. How did they do it, and does that concern you moving forward, even with some Luka magic, maybe?
Well, in FIBA, you don't really see a lot of teams put up 100-plus points. So once again, I go back to my point. They're not a very good defensive team, and they need to pick it up on that end. At the same time, Luka needs some help. You know, he had 23 in that game, and the next guy was far and away from him. So, you know, this team has to come together, do some scouting. They have a tough game ahead of them against Canada.
Right.
But that's going to be a
tomorrow.
great game. That's going to
Right.
be a great game.
Sean, how about what your thoughts on Luka? Let's say, you know, let's say the stars aligned, USA goes up against that team.
Yeah, alam ko na.
Right.
Well, let's not talk about USA first. Let's talk about his other pick,
Right.
which Canada will
Played
go
him
against
against
Slovenia. So
again
let's talk
tomorrow.
about that tomorrow. Since
about
you
that?
picked Canada, okay, how are they going to stop Luka? And how do you see the matchup going?
Listen, we already know who we're going to put on Luka. We're going to put Dylan Brooks on.
Ooh, that's a tough matchup.
And we all know how good of a defender he is, how pesky he is, how annoying he is. But those are all really good things, right? Especially for a guy like Luka, who's ball dominant. And if Dylan's on him the whole game, or you know, 3/4 of the game, it's going to be really tough for Luka to get across the line.
Well, that's definitely something to look
I have,
out.
SGA versus Luka.
Ooh, just offensive games.
It's
These
gonna be
two
a great
guys,
game.
right?
I'm very excited for that game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game.
How many points though do you think Luka's gonna score in Dylan Brooks?
I mean, did you see Dylan Brooks? I'm sorry, I'm a Laker fan. Did you see him in the playoffs? Can we stop?
But he
Stop
did.
it right.
Wait,
Stop it
I
right.
get what you
He
said,
hit a
but he
big
did
three.
score 22 points alongside
He's
SGA
not
in that last
stopping-
game.
He's not stopping
Okay.
Luka. Nobody's stopping Luka.
What
Nobody
is
in the
it with
league
Luka,
stops
bro?
Luka. So
What is it with Luka?
honestly, bro, it's hard to tell. This guy has his own pace every single time.
Mm.
You know he's gonna go for the step back, but he's also 6'8", so
He's
and
too
he
big.
shoots.
Can't stop.
Yeah, it's hard to stop it, really. So you know.
So Slovenia's winning tomorrow?
uh,
Let's call it here
I'm
tonight.
I'm gonna go with my pick.
Right.
Slovenia wins tomorrow.
It's Canada.
It's Canada. So we talked about the teams, but don't move yet. You know, we're still gonna have you in the
Look,
next
they're warming up
Yeah,
also.
they're warming
They
up.
want to get into it.
Because we'll talk about the players after the break.
All right.
We'll talk about the top arriving players to watch out for in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. Welcome back. You're still watching the game. International teams have started to arrive here in Manila for the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023, and here to give us a rundown of the top players to look out for are basketball analysts Aaron Black and Sean Manganti. So we talked about the teams. Now we're going to talk about the individual players.
And Sean has totally warmed up his
Yeah,
seat. He's
definitely.
not talking like a rookie anymore. Right. He's definitely
You know, a
into
couple
it.
of quarters in, you get your
Yeah,
groove.
yeah.
now.
This is third quarter
Right,
time.
right.
Okay, now let's first start with one of the players that you are looking forward to seeing, whom we did not talk about in that first gap. It was all about SGA. SGA, rightfully so. But the other guy that you wanted to see for Canada is who and why?
RJ Barrett.
Okay, why?
RJ Barrett is he's one of those guys. I've been a fan ever since I found out that he's Steve Nash's godson, and ever since then, you know, I've followed him, and he treats the game well. He approaches the game well, and here on Canada, he's one of the second or third best guys, I want to say, and that's where, because you know SGA is going to give you this.
Right.
You know, Kelly Olynyk is going to give you this. So for RJ, we really need him to pick his spots. And when he gets the opportunity, he needs to take those shots, and he can defend also. He has a whole package. He's so talented.
And he's playing a lot, 28 minutes a game, almost 13 points a game, 4 rebounds and 3 assists.
Well, very important for a young guy like RJ Barrett. But do you think RJ Barrett is kind of fit for the international stage? In the NBA, we know he's kind of proven it already. He still has a lot of potential. But in terms of international stage, how does he fit with it?
I think that's also why I chose him. Because in the league, he's still a rising star.
Right.
And I think he joined this also not only to represent his country, but also to prove that he's really taking his game to the next level. And he's showing it. He's really attacking hard. He's taking his shots, man. Whenever he gets an opportunity, he's taking it.
Especially if it's coming off plays that are initiated by the guy that you want to see and are looking out for SGA, who scored or assisted the last 17 points in that
Wow,
game
clutch.
against Spain. This is what we wanted to see. Your thoughts on SGA?
First, I don't want to hate on your pick, but RJ was on the bench at the end of the game.
He fell out. We weren't talking about versus
Okay.
Spain. We're talking
he
about
wasn't
in
playing.
general.
He wasn't playing very well.
In
Anyway,
general.
anyway,
In general.
so SGA, I love his game from the NBA. I've watched him.
Yeah.
I collect his cards. So
Yeah.
I really like this
Same.
guy. He does a lot. Both sides of the court. Doesn't have the quickest game, which is great. He's at his own speed, just like
Exactly,
Luka.
right.
And the way he took over that Spain game was crazy. The way he put people in the right spots. Dylan Brooks got a wide open three
Because of him.
off of him, and then he had that dagger in the end. Hit some big free throws. He's the life of this Canada team, and they'll go
doubt,
wherever
no
he
doubt.
goes.
No doubt
A
about it.
crazy performance by SGA, and that's against the world champions
Yep.
in Spain. But how excited are you with the fits that he's going to be bringing here in the Philippines? He's well known for that.
He is.
Yeah.
He might be the fit king, right? From last
Yeah,
year, I think
yeah.
he might.
Most
so,
probably, yeah.
So hey, on and off the court, it works, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, I love to see them. I think if they win out and the USA wins out, they do play each other.
Right,
so
right. There
at
is a
this
chance.
point, quarterfinals, anybody would be a good game, right?
Right,
But
right.
Canada, USA would be his picks would
Right.
be a great game.
Especially with some of the favorites being out already in Australia,
Yes.
France, and Spain. Just to underscore what Aaron was also talking about, almost 30 minutes a game and 24 points, 7 rebounds, and a little over 5 assists in a FIBA game, an international game,
Yeah.
which again, is part of the I think what blows everybody's minds. But you mentioned him earlier, Dylan Brooks. All right, tell me. I think a lot of Filipinos want to see him play
The Luka
in
style.
person, whether it's against Luka or just in general. What is he going to do? How is he going to be with the crowd? Tell me what you're looking out for.
I picked Dylan Brooks because I believe that he could be the dark horse for Canada. Like I said before, SGA is going to give you what he's going to give you, and the other guys on the team. Dylan Brooks, if he produces offensively,
Right.
that could be a totally different team because we know he's going to defend. We know he's going to go for 50-50 balls, rebound, do all that dirty work that every team needs. But if he starts scoring like he did versus Spain,
Right?
I
22
mean,
points, yeah?
it was Dylan Brooks and SGA that won that game versus Spain.
Right, right.
And if he could continue to play like that, scary team.
And by the way, he played well all throughout the game also. So
Right.
give credit to Dylan Brooks.
Well, you've seen a lot of games here in the FIBA World Cup, and you've been watching Dylan Brooks, that's for sure. But how about the physicality? Does he fit the
Oh, that's a good
international
point.
stage
Exactly.
perfectly with the physicality that we've been seeing?
Exactly. In the NBA, he's kind of a little bit too much, but I think he's perfect for this type of game,
Right,
right?
right.
He's gonna get into you. He's gonna get inside you and really try to hurt Luka. He's gonna hurt Luka, man.
Yeah.
Physically or?
Maybe emotionally. I won't say emotionally. He's gonna
Let's
make it
not do
really
that.
hard for him.
Okay, we'll see. Dennis Schroeder from Germany, again, a team that is undefeated. He's the engine of this team.
He is.
And he's been playing so well, proving that he fits the international game too. Tell me about your thoughts about
You
this
put that
former
perfectly.
LA player.
Engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that distributes the ball. He scores a lot, but at the same time, he's their general. Just where SGA goes, Canada goes, I feel like with them, a lot of that burden is on him. But that Germany team, all in all, is tough, and he picks his spots as well. He knows when he's going to score, knows when to set people up. And Schroeder's been a solid guard ever since he's been in the league. I think people haven't really looked at him that way. But his stats have been great since he's been in the league, and I think Germany's going to be the dark horse of this whole thing. I think if they come out on top, I won't be shocked.
Well, you mentioned his consistency, of course, in the NBA and here in the World Cup. But it seems like he's a totally different player when he's playing in the World Cup. The swag is different,
That's
the
true.
confidence is different. Why do you think he's that way when he's, playing for that Germany jersey?
I feel like when you're that dude of
Yeah.
your team,
Yeah.
you're that star of your team, the guy that they go to when they need a bucket, that confidence level rises even more. So I'm sure he's confident in NBA, but even more so when he goes to Germany, I'm sure he's a celebrity over there.
Right.
He's their guy,
Right, right.
So I feel like he'll be big time for them, and the way he plays in this next game will be a barometer of how they'll go, how far they'll go in this FIBA World Cup.
Almost 27 minutes a game, 20 points a game for Dennis Schroeder. for Team Germany, who is 5-0. Okay, we picked the brain of Sean and Aaron. I want to go to you, Jago. I have to ask you. The three of you are the ones who are experts here in terms of the game of basketball. You've watched a lot too, obviously, with the fan stream.
Yep.
And Luka is one of your picks. Obviously, that's an obvious pick
Right.
too. But what are you looking out for in this version of Luka that we're going to see here in the Philippines, knowing that there are other tougher, maybe deeper and talented teams?
I think I'm just excited with, the Filipino fans just experiencing the Luka experience with the way he plays. So I just hope he brings us so many different highlights, maybe logo shots, some magical shots that the whole country will really experience. But when you talk about Luka, how he affects the game, he's the system in himself. When you give him the
He
ball,
is, yeah.
when you give him the ball, he's gonna make the right decision almost every single time.
It seems like
right?
he's
It's
playing
too
among
easy.
boys sometimes.
It's too easy for him.
Right?
So, I think, he's used to the physicality. He's used to all the X's and O's in the international stage.
Correct, yeah.
Also in the NBA. So
Diba,
I
sabi nga niya, he has an easier time, right, in the NBA as opposed to the international
Exactly.
game.
And I think this is going to be a little bit special for him because he really wants to bring that gold to Slovenia.
Okay, I have to ask because he included a Pelican.
Of course. And
you know,
boom, by
I'm
the
very
way, he's a
happy
Pelicans fan.
that- because nobody roots for the Pelicans. Valanciunas, who's been he's been ramming through his opponents,
right.
for Team Lithuania. They're 5-0. You wanted to see him, right?
Well, he's a FIBA vet,
He
FIBA
is.
vet and an NBA vet. So when NBA guys try to go up against him, he has that, swag also. There's that respect from all the other peers. And we saw that in the USA game. He was posting up people. He was hitting jumpers after jumpers. But not just that. It's because this whole team, I think this Lithuania team, Coach Tab even mentioned in the fan stream that, this team is gelled. They've been playing together for a very long time, and I think that's one of the recipes for a tough team moving forward. And Lithuania is going to be that. I think it's going to be one of the dark horses for this one.
And the number one three-point shooting team in the league, which they proved against the
Did
USA
not miss
last
it from
time.
3 in the first
right?
half.
And also the number one rebounding team.
Yeah.
And as you guys saw, also killed USA in that department. Aaron and Sean, welcome to the game. First of many, correct?
Hopefully.
The first of many for sure. Aaron, good to see you again.
to see you.
Have fun tomorrow.
I will.
All
I
right,
definitely will.
Canada and Slovenia. And in the meantime, we've got more FIBA stories for you after the break. So keep it here as you continue to watch the game. Welcome back to the game. Molten Corporation unveiled the official FIBA Finals game ball yesterday at the FIBA World Cup fan zone at the SM Mall of Asia Music Hall. Now, only 1,200 units are available globally, 400 locally, each with a unique serial number and a premium box. These are accessible through Molten's official website. Noah Segawa, Molten head of marketing, highlighted the blend of technology and basketball tradition. While Mr. Anil Buksani, the CEO of Sonac Corporation, also emphasized their mission to deliver top quality sporting goods globally and redefine industry standards.
And talking about Molten, that Molten ball is going through the hoop right now because Serbia and Lithuania, just a quick update, 67-51 Serbia leading them. And by the way, there's another game on the Pilipinas Live app, the Italy versus USA game, a must-watch at 8:40 p.m. That's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
And don't forget to catch us weeknights here on One News and on the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch us live and our past episodes on demand for just 99 pesos a month. Available for download on Google Play or the App Store. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and this has been The Game.